just turn it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to begin the funeral service. We ask for those that have a cell phone or a pager, if you could turn it to the silent mode. Officiating is Rabbi Yitzchak Bergstein.
We'll start with a few chapters of Psalms. If you want to follow along in Hebrew or English. In Psalm 91, Yoshev b'Yisrael Yom Shadi Yisleinon Eimer Ladinei Masi Musudas Aliyafta Pei Yitzchum Pakyokosh B'Dever Aves Pavrasa Yasach Lach V'Sachs Kanav V'Tachas Sinu V'Zechir Amite L'Tzirim Bachalei L'Machetz Yof Yemam Midever B'Fiyal Leich B'Ket Yoshu Sarayim Yiba Mitzitcha L'Forvor Minachai Lachali Yigash Rak Minachasam Beit V'Shlum Z'Shem Tirek Yatar L'Masel Yinsanta Meinacha L'Sunei Lecharo V'Nagalik Rabalecha Kemalach Yitzava Lach L'Shmocha B'Chol D'Rochecha. You who dwells on the shelter of the Most High, who abides under the shadow of the Omnipotent, I say to the Lord, who is my refuge and my stronghold, my God in whom I trust, that He will save you from the ensnaring trap, from the destructive pestilence. He will cover you with His pinions, and you will find refuge under His wings. His truth is a shield and an armor. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, the pestilence that prowls in the darkness, nor the destruction that ravages at noon. 1,000 may fall at your left side, and 10,000 at your right, but it shall not reach you. You need only look with your eyes, and you will see the retribution of the wicked. Because you have said, the Lord is my shelter, you have made the Most High your haven. No evil will befall you, no plague will come near your tent, for He will instruct His angels on your behalf to guard you in all your ways. Psalm 16. Ichtam leDavid shomreni el k'chasisi b'ach amart l'adonai adonai atar t'yivasi v'alecha alecha k'lektesh masher v'adaseima v'adiri k'chetzi bam yirbu v'atzmeis v'achamaharu v'alasid n'skem midam v'alasa shmeisam al sivasai v'nein maschel ki v'chesi atem k'rali atem chavalim rafloli v'animim amnal shavar aloi avarach asanei asher yatzani afleilis yisuni kliyosai shvisi adonai l'negdi samit yimini b'alamed l'chein samachli v'yagol kvedi abasori lishkan levetach l'sasav nashal l'sheil l'tzid n'chatzit l'ir shachas I David watch over me, O God, for I have put my trust in you. You, my soul, have said to God, you are my master, you are not obligated to benefit me for the sake of the holy ones who lie on the earth, and for the mighty, all my desires are fulfilled in their merit. Those who hasten after other gods, their sorrows shall increase. I will not offer their libations of blood, nor take their names upon my lips. The Lord is my allotted portion and my share. You guide my destiny. Portions have fallen to me in pleasant places. Indeed, a beautiful inheritance is mine. I bless the Lord who has advised me. Even in the nights, my intellect admonishes me. I have set the Lord before me at all times, because He is at my right hand. I shall not falter. Therefore, my heart rejoices, my soul exalts, my flesh too rests secure. For you will not abandon my soul to the grave. You will not allow your pious ones to see purgatory. Make known to me the path of life, that I may be satiated with the joy of your presence, with the bliss of your right hand forever. Psalm 23. Mizmor LeDavid Adonai Royaleach Zabin Esesha Yabit Seini Amim Nochis Naleini Now she is shaving on Kedim Maglet Tzedek Leman Shemei Gam Kiel Beit Samovas Rakati Modi Shiv Tchomash Dachahim Nachamuni Tar Lefon Shulchanem Tzeder Reishanda Mashaman Reishi Kesu Devoya After Vachas Yunifuni Kol Yemei Chayev Shavdu Vesali Noy Leirech Yamim. Psalm by David, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not lack nothing. He lays me down in green pastures, He leads me beside still waters. He revives my soul. He directs me in paths of righteousness for the sake of His name. Though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they will comfort me. You will prepare a table for me before my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil, my cup is full. Only goodness and kindness shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord for many long years. Tefillah Lama Yisha Elohim Anta Yisrael Lana B'Deva Deva Tani Mianu Lana B'Tela Sevel Meilam Ante Namata El Toshem Enan Shadak Matim Mishul Mani Adam Gel Shalom Bainach, Messi Yavar Shortable Layla, Zam, Shani, you break Kotsi Yakalef, Riki Yots of Holof, Larry Mailevi Yavish, Kalino Vapaka Homosin, Hono, Shadlam in the Dakalum, in the Mirpanaha, you mean a Panabasaka, Kinishan, Yaga, Mentions, and membership in Shano, Murshan, Shana, all of it, Kosi Shanofa, Midays, Apaka, Grasaka, the Mason, can he don't have Hokma, Shuvan, Moss, and Akamala, House, I mean, Masaka, and the Whistle, Yamino. Some Hino Commission in Son of Shanson and all, you're all over the Kabadar Hab and AM. You know, I'm on the Lino, Lino, my Sidana, can all Lino, my Sidana, can you. Prayer of Moses, the man of God, my Lord, may you have been a shelter. You have been a shelter for us in every generation. For the mountains came into being before you created the earth and the world. Forever and ever, you are Almighty God. You diminish man until he is crushed, and you say, you return to the children of man. Indeed, 1,000 years are in your eyes like yesterday. That has passed like a watch of the night. The stream of their lives is but a slumber. In the morning they are like grass that sprouts anew. In the morning it thrives and sprouts anew. In the evening it withers and dries. For we are consumed by your anger and destroyed by your wrath. You have set our wrongdoings before you, our hidden sins before the light of your countenance. For all our days have vanished in your wrath, because our years have passed like a fleeting sound. The days of our lives number 70 years, and of great vigor 80 years. Most of them are but trivial and futility, passing quickly and flying away. Who can know the intensity of your anger? Your wrath is commensurate with one's fear of you. Teach us then to reckon our days, that we may acquire a wise heart. Relent, O Lord, how long will your anger last? Have compassion upon your servants. Satiate us in the morning with your kindness, then we shall sing and rejoice throughout our days. Give us joy corresponding to the days that you afflicted us, the years we have seen adversity. Let your work be revealed to your servants, and your splendor be upon their children. May the pleasantness of the Lord our God be upon us. Establish for us the work of our hand. Establish the work of our hands. Friends, family, we're here today to mourn the passing and celebrate the life of Ira Yitzhak Moshe Aaron. As we just read in Psalm 90, days of the strong are 80 years. Ira was born 80 years ago. Raised on 16th Street, the West Side, or they call it back then GVS, the Great West Side. And he attended Cheder. He loved talking about his youth. He would schmooze about it. Remember. And when the family moved up to East Rogers Park, they attended the Universal there. And that was the life that Ira grew up in. Arlene recalls, while growing up, the entrance of their building, there was a large wall with big planters on it. And Ira, as the older brother, was supposed to watch over her. But he wanted to play ball or do other things instead, so he picked her up and put her inside the planter. She couldn't climb down. But
He still talked about that. Yeah.
Ira raised Susie and Terry from when they were teenagers. And to them, he was their dad. He loved them, he cared for them, took care of them, gave each one their space, allowed for each one to be heard. He was always there for them. He actually stopped smoking because when we take DJ to school and Matt, they told him they want him to walk them down the aisle at their weddings. So he stopped smoking. That was his caring and love for the family. And Ira loved sports. Loved watching sports, but loved going to the games. Arlene recalls one time while he was doing some chores or working for their dad for some allowance, he wanted to go to a ball game. So what did he do? He shorted the electricity in the building.
He squeezed a sponge into the outlet and shorted out the hole.
Okay,
I
so
didn't
that's
know
why
our lights
Dad.
are flickering.
Yeah, that's why the lights have been flickering the last 48 hours. Okay.
And he was able to go to the game. If he wasn't able to go to the game, he watched the game. One time, Dad was sound asleep on the couch, and he wanted to watch. It was before the times when every child had a big screen in their own bedroom. So he put something on Dad's head. Well, got him up, and he was able to watch the game. Dad wasn't very happy. Kathy remembers at a period of time, he had a business associate that had box seats. I'd take the kids to watch the games in box seats. It was only the White Sox, but it was box seats.
Matt found the tickets. Oh, Matt found the tickets last night.
Oh, Matt found the tickets last night. Oh.
He would come to school quite regularly with wearing either a baseball cap, a shirt, or a sweatshirt with one of the games, one of the Bears, the Whites, or the Cubs, the Blackhawks. Ira had a great way with words. He was a great influence on many kids that knew him, got to know him. He had a way with words with them. And if they were in a little trouble, take them out to the basement, hear to them with love, not with enforcing rules. Listen to them out. And once they were done, well, maybe we should try it this way. Maybe we should do this. How about thinking about doing this? He got kids back to school, got kids out of trouble from his love and his caring. Until several years ago, Ira was in the construction business. He served as the middleman for a variety of building construction materials. And when he would go downtown with the kids, he'd point out, I did this project, I did that project, these huge buildings.
Those
that
are
he
my
was involved in.
partitions in the hospital. One of the construction managers are here too, Joey. Yeah, it's
You can
nice.
attest to it.
Yeah, sure can.
He did business with all the major construction companies, and he raised their kids too, and took care of them, and moved into the business with them as well as they took over. Ira was always honest and straightforward. He always gave you his opinion, but an honest opinion, and he would speak at the association meetings. This is the one you should go with. This is the one you should stay away from. Work with this contractor, this one not.
Remember that?
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
I can't remember it. It's been so long.
ASI or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was a big company.
Several years back, the kids recalled he had a mini stroke. While in the hospital, he totally forgot everything,
Yeah.
including his name. But he remembered his business associates, and he called them on the phone using the heart monitor, and would ask them by name. And when the kids would tell him he's not in right now, he said, "Okay, I'll call back." And he did so several times.
Cool.
And he insisted on remaining working until several years ago, but it just became too difficult, too challenging because of his medical conditions. Did you want to share a few words?
The kids
The
do,
kids-
for
okay.
sure.
Right.
Who goes first? DJ, you go first. You're older. And then it'll be Matt, and then it's faked, okay? Unless they want to.
Unless you want to stand up there together. Okay. She's looking at her. She's looking at her. Yeah, you can all go up there together. You can back up.
You guys can give each other support. You know? Good
Careful
time
where
to
you
give
walk
each
now.
other support. You always were there for support for each other.
Careful, Mike.
Hello. Wait, is this thing on?
Yes.
Hello, we're the grandkids. Yeah, we're a band.
Playing it loud music this weekend.
Grandpa Ira was there for us during meets, karate matches. That's why I'm wearing his favorite hat. Mostly the concerts. He was a kid to us, a big kid. He would go to White Hen at like 5:30 in the morning, and we would get donuts with him. While he would grab coffee. My first sunrise watching was with my grandpa. And when he died yesterday, I saw my sunrise from my grandpa. He, one morning in Florida, we went to grab some food at a store, and we saw hot balloon race in the sky. Our grandpa was a pretty funny man. he could tell us stories about his childhood, or he could tell stories about us. But for me, as his eldest, I would try to be like him. I would go down in the basement. I had my own little mini desk, and he would always he would fall asleep when he was doing work. And so one day, my family has a photo of this. I had a scratch on my head, and I put my feet on the desk, and I conked down and fell asleep. He was the one who says 13-year-olds are hellish. Because he had to raise 2 teenagers, which is my mom and aunt.
Perfect angels. Perfect angels.
Not.
God. Okay, Matt, your turn?
Your turn.
Or, careful, DJ.
Every time I go to the bank to cash in the overflowing jar of coins that sits on my bedside table, the teller always returns to me with a small handful of miscellaneous items that would not go through the coin counting machine. Usually this assortment of discarded items includes things like paper clips, a button, maybe a keychain that found its way into my coin collection. Amongst this array of misfit objects, the teller always returns to me one particular coin, a white hen token for a free 20-ounce coffee. And every time I share a laugh at the silliness of a coin coupon and proudly tell them that my grandpa gave me that coin when I was little and white hen still existed. Besides being a silly souvenir, this coin reminds me of the times as a little kid when grandpa would drive us to the white hen in his old blue van, and I get to sit in the front seat and feel the tiny thrill of what I thought it meant to be an adult. We'd stop at the corner of Park and Atwater, where I first learned how to differentiate my right from my left. And he would quiz me using me as a human GPS to direct him to the white hen a few blocks away. Despite his rigorous training, it seems that the white hen may be one of the only places I can still navigate to without Google Maps. When we get to the white hen, Grandpa would get a coffee, we'd get a donut, though sometimes I'd get a hot chocolate and pretend it was coffee so I could be just like him. Then we'd drive home and tell us jokes or fun facts that were way over my head, but I would listen intently, hoping that one day I could be just as smart as he was. And still today, as I drive around the city feeling lost, I think of how if Grandpa were here, he would know exactly where we were, and would have some silly story about the partitions he put up in the sausage joint across the street to accompany his direction. When I think of Grandpa, I smile as I recall an assortment of fond memories like these that he gifted to me as I grew up. So when the bank teller asked me if I wanted to keep any of the misfit coins, I take the white hen token and put it right back in the jar so I can be reminded of these memories once again. Grandpa, I love you, and though I can't hug you anymore, I can give you a token for a free 20-ounce coffee. I hope they have white hen in heaven.
And the donut for us.
All right.
So as we grew up, we started a tradition where we'd ask questions once a year around the holidays and have everyone respond to them. And so last night we're going through Grandpa Ira's responses. So me and Matt are gonna read you some ones that we found like really fit him.
I'll read the question, Faith will read Grandpa's response. What do you want to be when you grow up?
An adult.
What's your scariest moment?
Skiing in Aspen during a whiteout on a triple diamond
When are you most at peace?
in the basement.
What superpower do you want? And
You want-
what would you be called?
He wants to fly and you'd be called Mosquito Man.
Have you ever been in a food fight?
And he recalled at him and Grandma Goose's wedding when they had a cake fight.
If you could compete in the Olympics, what would you compete in?
Downhill skiing.
What was a good idea at the time but turned out to be the worst idea?
Taking Grandma skiing on their honeymoon, and she claimed that he was trying to kill her when they were on the Benny Hill.
Funniest thing to happen on a trip?
Eating ho-hos and drinking red wine on a trip to Michigan. And then he also recalled golfing with Roger in Florida and losing balls in the water.
Favorite holiday tradition?
Thanksgiving and eating as a family.
Secret to a meaningful life.
Learning to keep your mouth shut.
Where are you most relaxed?
On the toilet pooping.
Named after one state.
Yeah.
If you could be named after one state, what would it be?
Iowa. And that's why I live there now.
Favorite thing to do by yourself?
Nap.
What's a weird habit?
Getting up early.
It's true.
Of all the friends and family, who has the best chance to get elected?
Neil.
His best friend.
Yeah.
Favorite Christmas song?
Hanukkah, Hanukkah.
Favorite childhood memory?
Hanging Arlene on a coat hook. I notice a pattern.
Oh.
Who makes you laugh the most?
Faith Shiley, my little character.
Who do you go to for advice?
God.
If you were to be remembered for one thing, what would it be?
Trusting and generous.
That's all we have.
Aw. You're a sweet kid. Rabbi, you think you're gonna make it? All right, be careful. Somebody help her.
You can do from right there, Sue.
Can you do it? He said he can do it right there. I can? Yeah.
Rabbi, you want to just hand her the microphone?
I have to get it.
Just so they can hear you online.
Okay. I wrote this yesterday on my Facebook post. This morning, an important person in my family passed away. My stepdad, Ira. The words are so very hard for me to explain regarding all the feelings that I have right now, along with the loss. He was the dad who helped me to gain a voice in life. He was the type of dad with owl-like wisdom or life story. He had eternal patience to deal with my sister and myself as stubborn, know-it-all teenagers and young adults. He was understanding and non-judgmental and always had multiple points of view. He was always there for me with fatherly advice when I or DJ needed it. In my family, we have a lot of memories and moments of fun, laughter, and sometimes silliness with him. While he always has been the voice of reason for me during trying times, I could always depend on him when I needed him, or I could call him when I had a panic attack, or I'd get lost in Chicago. And no, Dad, I don't know what 100 I am at. He would always get me home. Now, who will I call when I get lost? No matter what, he is and always will be Dad to me, with whom I love and miss a lot.
You got one, two, there? No, I want to say something. Oh.
This will be short. They're right. That's exactly what he did. And that's exactly why I married him. Because he had the biggest heart I'd ever seen in a man. I'm gonna miss him.
We're told by Hasidic masters that darf leben mit der Zeit, we have to live with the times, meaning we live with the Torah portion of the week. And there's a message in connection with the Torah portion of events that take place during that week. This week in Shabbat we read the portion, the book of Deuteronomy, of Akev. Moses continues to prepare the Jewish people to enter the land of Israel. He reminds them of their shortcomings during the 40-year sojourn in the desert, and he emphasizes and teaches them about their obligations to remain truthful to their heritage, remember the Torah and its precepts. Ira thought moving to the west side, or out to the west suburbs, I should say, was going into the Jewish desert.
Yeah.
Growing up in the Great West Side, growing up and then moving to East Rogers Park, that was the Jewish oasis. That was Jewish life. He thought there was nothing out in the West until Kathy told him, nope, there's a shul in Westchester and I'm going to make sure you go. And go he went. He went regularly, got very involved in the Westchester shul, remained with them until the remaining members joined us at Chabad. If Paul and Armand here, or from those who remember him from that time as well. He enjoyed coming davening with us every Shabbos until COVID.
Yeah.
And family thanks Paul and Mike, who's not here, for the love and care and help they gave him. Obviously, everyone else in the shul, but making sure he got home from shul every week. He loved coming to daven, loved schmoozing with the chavra, with the guys at the table over cholent, over kiddush, reminiscing of years he grew up, the Great West Side, or sports, whatever was on the table. And one of the answers was his bad habit was getting up early.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arlene can relate to that best.
Oh, yeah.
On her birthday, every year he wakes up at 4 and calls her at 4 a.m. You woke me up when you were born at 4 a.m. She was born at home. She couldn't wait. She wanted to meet her brother. I'll wake you up every year on that day.
He did.
Ira will be greatly missed.
Yes, he will.
Although physically he will no longer be with us, the Jewish tradition has us that the soul no longer is restricted to the physical body now. And the soul is able to be with all their loved ones and those that cherish him. The way to make sure that the spirit and his spirit remains with us is to emulate the life that he lived. The kindness, the caring, the sharing, the wisdom. Do another mitzvah, do another good deed in his memory. And that will assure that he will continue to live on with us forever. May his memory be a continuous inspiration to all of us. May he be, as they say in Yiddish, a gute better, a good beseecher, to beseech on high for the well-being, the health and safety of his family, his extended family, his community, and all of Israel. Please rise. El molei rachamim meshechein mamroimim hamtzei menucha nechoin al kanfei hashechina b'malas kadeshim u'tehidim v'kezei arakia masirim es nishmas yitzchak b'meisharim sheholach lo'ilamoi bavur shanachnu mispalelim bad askaras nishmasoi b'gan eden tehei menuchasoi L'chein bal harachamim yasrei b'seser knafav lo'ilamim V'yisru b'sarachayim es nishmasoi Adino yunachalosoi V'yinu b'sholom ha'mishkavoi V'no yimar amen. God, full of compassion, who dwells on high, grant proper repose to the sheltering wings of your presence, the lofty levels of the holy and pure, shine the brightness of the firmament, and to the soul of Ira, Yitzchak Moshe Aaron, who has gone to his world, and for whose memory we pray. May he repose. May his repose be in paradise. May the Master of compassion bring him under the cover of God's wings and bind his soul in the bond of life. May the Lord be his heritage, and may he repose in his resting place in peace. And let us respond. Amen. Amen. This time we will lower the casket. Want to say something? Okay. And after once the casket is lowered and we're prepared, everyone will have the opportunity to put dirt on the grave. After which we'll do a concluding prayer. This time is appropriate to take a moment and ask forgiveness from Ira, Yitzchak Moshe Aaron, for anything we have done during his lifetime, as well as anything in preparation for this time, for the burial. There may have been none out of respect for him, or not in place for him. Forgive us, and we forgive him for anything he may have done to us or said to us throughout our lives, even in a kibbutz, which he was known at.
Yeah, remember?
Jewish tradition that we don't pass the shovel one to another at the burial. So it's not something that we appreciate and enjoy doing, but it's an honor to and a great mitzvah to participate in this process of life. Please be careful when you step. We don't want anyone getting hurt.
It might be easier to come around it for those who want to. The rabbi will start on this side, family can come around this side.
You go on, Denise.
I think I can do it. Me and I'll be free, okay? You hold me? No.
Just do it. Grab, Matt can get you. Can we do one over there too?
Yeah, you can do either side. It might be a little easier on this side. Just, unless you're more.
Joey. Where's Joey? Yeah, there he is. Oh, Joey is. Joey's been in for a long time.
I know, but
No, he's like, okay. Where's your walkers? Right here. That's his hands. If you want to sit, I'm going to stay there. Watch Paul. Make sure Paul's okay. Paul. Yeah, make sure Paul's okay. Please. Are you
he's holding up his.
Paul, Rabbi, I'll watch him. Good idea. Water on his neck. Come sit down if you want. There's a chair.
Friends, it is a little warm. I do have a box of water. If anybody wants any water or moist towels, we have plenty. I'm gonna open the box right now. I guess I know where I put it. This one's warm.
Hi.
The last statement for Ira, he called the kids now, as well as the others, he referred to them as the Starkers.
Starkers, yeah.
You know,
Especially the
Starkers are
youngest one.
the strong ones. So the kids would go around as
And
they
help
as they're
them.
growing up collecting the Sidurim and Chumashim. This was knew them as the Starkers.
He used to always come home and tell me how one of the Starkers helped him get up and down and get through the post services. I think it's the younger one here.
The one in between remembers being called a Starker too. He told me
did
this
he?
morning.
Well,
He
you know,
texted texted me this morning. He says, "Yeah."
So maybe I remember he's still one.
He used to call all the little ones, the younger ones.
No, he had a couple that actually watched over him. That's why I was never worried.
Can I give you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, what?
He said there was enough of them, the younger ones.
Oh yeah, they were always there for us and helping. Rabbi trained his kids well.
Yeah, he didn't do that. He just called you Gadrola.
Look at this. You'd be so happy. No, these are all the guys he was in temple with. And the kids, the little
Mike
strikers.
couldn't make it. He
Loved you kids. Especially when you guys were in restaurants. He knew he'd be okay because he knew one of you guys would end up watching over him.
He's not gonna cover the thing, is he?
I don't know.
Rabbi, are you covering all of them?
No, we're just going to cover the vault and then we'll finish afterwards.
They just have to.
I said cover the vault.
Just hope we did this. Yeah, I know he's happy too.
Absurd am Bali, hold off of Mishpot, Elamuna, Vay Novel Sadi Yasher. Absurd am Hopa, I'm really Mati for Shalom Mata, Mal, maybe some high, maybe some high mirror show, but y'all. Absurd am Homais, Miriam Metasa, or you may raise a Hasakin Tasa, was good, and I can say, Akshiva was a. Sadly, behold, the Rachel to Tommy, Mary Kapay, all the Rachamim, come on, of course, all of us of one him, kill the hard, and ask the Rachamim. Sadly, I thought you know, Mr. Yes, if you're being called Ruchais, Holil, Hosakin, Lim Case, you know, in Echabirachim, in Elena Pacukais, he had an Achmas the Case. All the men showing Yiki, other showing Yiki, my eastern lay, or dynamics, maybe some Machaya. Orochu Kiamas Dina, Mashita, Kalina, Mashalman, Hashpen Medina Marcos, make a Yeteno. Idaniki Adina, Sadimishota, Circle, the Bracha, this shift to Bishop Takam. Van Harachamidas, Shoftacha, Sadik, maybe Osham Shoftacha. Diana Shivit, Sadik Bamas, what I am, Common Spot, Sadik Bamas, never go high baby Yadacha, Sadik Molly Minacha, Nacham of Peterson, I got that, was him, Lamala, Harry Yodacha. There lays about our leadership in Echabakuk, I call that in the Adam losses, used to feed the rock of Himal of Lahagi, Yoshadino, Tsuri, Obey. I didn't know son, Malone, Lokoch, Yishiman, Nevera, Habar, the Ashes, Hirbalash, Paper, the Ark of Hamas. The deeds of the mighty rock are perfect, for all his ways are just, a faithful God without injustice. He is righteous and upright, the rock perfect in all his words. Who can say to him, what have you done? He rules below and above, he brings death and restores life, brings down to the grave and raises up from there. The rock, perfect in his deeds, who can say to him, what do you do? You who says and fulfills the wonders of kindness with us and the merit of Isaac, who was bound to the altar like a lamb, hearken and grant our request. Righteous one, in all his ways, a rock who is perfect, slow to anger, abundant in mercy, take pity and spare both parents and children, for with you, O Lord, pertain forgiveness and mercy. Righteous are you, Lord, to bring death and to restore life, for in your hands are entrusted all spirits. Far be it from you to erase our memory, look towards us with mercy, for yours, O God, O Lord, are mercy and forgiveness. A man, whether to be a year old or whether he lives 1,000 years, what does it profit him? For it is not as it has never been. Blessed be the true judge who brings death and restores life. Blessed be he, for his judgment is true, as he scans everything with his eye and rewards man according to his account of judgment. Let us give praise to his name. We know, Lord, that your judgment is right. You are righteous when you speak and pure when you judge, and none shall question your judgments. Righteous are you, O Lord, and your judgments are upright. You are the true judge who judges with righteousness and truth. Blessed is the true judge, for all his judgments are righteous and true. The soul of every living creature is in your hand. Righteousness fills your right and left hand. Have mercy on the remnant of the flock under your hand, and say to the angel of death, hold back your hand. You are great in counsel, mighty in carrying it out, for your eyes are open to all the ways of mankind, to give everyone in accordance with his needs, with his ways, in accordance with the fruit of his deeds, to declare that the Lord is just, he is my strength, and there's no injustice in him. The Lord gave, and the Lord took. May the name of the Lord be blessed. Yet is compassionate, pardon iniquity, and does not destroy. Time and again he turns away his anger and does not arouse all his wrath. Who with a psalm followed by Kaddish, Is more David and then me Yagmi Balacham Yashimar Kachacha, he'll come for Sadik for the Remus of Love, the Rog Alan Shane, the Oscillary, Robert Caballon, so Craven, lives a man of Nimus, the Sea Elna Yahabi, Nishmer, Hover, Yammer, Casman, as a Mashach, the Sheikh, and Anoki Locha, say, La Yime, La Yelam. A little different Kaddish.
Yiskadal v'yiskadash shmei Rabbah. V'alma dehu asar mehadasadecha v'lecha mesa v'lesaka v'chai olama v'levavnei karata b'Yerushalayim v'lechalel achalela v'haguva v'lemekar v'chana nichrona me'ar'a v'lesahala v'lesacha v'simra l'taraisa. V'yamlich kedusha baruch hu v'malchusei v'yarkei v'chayachon mechon v'chayachol beis Yisrael b'agalav uzman koriv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba barach le'olam u'meil maya. Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yispa'ar v'yisraman v'yisnaseh v'yisadar v'yisalev v'yisalal shemei dekudusha baruch hu. Le'ela min kol b'chasa tushbach v'sarasa tushbachasa v'nesavas d'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlomo Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom yiramov u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Lech l'shalom, Sanuach b'shalom, Samuel l'garochal kiketzigomin, go in peace, repose in peace, and arise to your ultimate destiny at the end of days. And to the family of mourners, we say the traditional expression, Amakom yinachem etchem, v'soch shar avei l'sim v'Yerushalayim. May the omnipresence console you among the other mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. May death be swallowed up forever. May the Lord God wipe away tears from every face and remove the mocking of God's people from throughout the world, for the Lord has spoken.
Memorial contributions in Ira's memory may be made to the Chabad of Oak Park. That information is available on the handouts as well as on our website. We also like to thank, on behalf of the family, those of you who were able to join us on the live stream. The family very much appreciates your attendance. At this time, the service is concluded. For those who wish to remain to watch the covering, and for those who are able to contribute physically, we can certainly do that as well. But this does conclude our service. Thank you.
You want us to see the whole thing covered?
Do you? Okay, wait, you know what, Roger and me, I do a little bit.
You want me to do it too?
If you
No,
want,
let them.
let the guys do it.
Because
Yeah,
they're
it's
male
their
and
mail.
it's tradition to male.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not here with me, I'm sorry.
Now that we know.
You know,
we do
maybe
more
over
than
there is
just
maybe
a couple.
oh.
You're gonna give her back.
Yeah. So this is the box, the shitter box.
I'll explain.
You'll explain everything. So I'm gonna put the rest of the folders. You have
Is
that.
that what when we have our meal, is that?
Yes, when you come back to the house, you're gonna write one of these.
Okay.
This is a 7-day candle.
That's in my house.
That's in your house. It works for you. It's two in here. You take one to your house as well, okay? You can divvy that up. This is a little plaque for the next 10 years. It's traditional the night before the anniversary of the death. You made it just a couple years ago. You light a candle. So you have that little plaque here for you. Take out the candle.
Put it on.
You light it, and that's the date in which you know the night before.
It's
always the night
The
before.
night before, yeah, we
And
do
then
it for
last-
grandma and grandpa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do it for
My
grandma and
mother's
grandpa.
is this Friday night.
Look at that.
Here's my
It's the box,
mother.
and yeah, you do that in tradition.
Is it this Friday night we have to do it?
That's my
This is Black Hills, Kathleen.
Okay.
Okay.
just all the information that's provided, statement, and the social security number.
Oh, I have to give it to the social
Just call it.
No, we have to put it on to
Call it.
I'll put it in the box.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in here, look at it later, and,
talk about that.
and there's, yeah. But we'll follow up with,
I think we just wanted to make sure it was done the right way.
and just so you know, they're gonna come back later.
Mom's
They're gonna dig
That's
out,
down.
yeah, they're gonna dig out a little bit on this side and make it flat. Re-gravel it actually a little bit underneath, so it stays.
Yeah, because I bought Perpetual and I spoke to Susan yesterday.
Yeah.
I believe it was down.
And she was putting an order in.
Yeah, they put the order, yeah, he's just gonna get, he's gonna resurface, repop, you know, down some of the concrete, and then reset it. So,
Because we always come in and I've never seen it down like this. It was always, I know.
I don't think anybody pushed it. We
Yeah,
had some bad, so nobody pushed it. I think it's just, every time it was a little leaning.
it was, yeah, and we hadn't been here
Yeah, it
in
went
a
back, so
couple of years, so,
if they level it out more.
30, 40 years, it's a lot, yeah, it happens.
yeah.
Yeah, she passed away in '80, but it was up already for my dad.
Okay, so yeah, it was definitely, number of years. Okay, so that happens. They're gonna take care of it, and they'll probably
Occasion, but it's time for money.